Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja, and let's get started with Friday Night Smackdown. So y'all, welcome back to the show, and this week's Friday Night Smackdown makes me a little bit nervous. Not really sure how good it's gonna be. I wonder, did y'all hear about them trying to go back to 2 hours? I feel like I heard a rumor about it, and they still are doing the 3 hour thing to 11 o'clock, or whatever your time zone is. But, when are they gonna do that to 2 hours? I feel like 3 hours of Friday Night Smackdown is not necessary, especially if Raw is only doing 2.5 hours. It barely not even that. Sometimes they're cutting it off even earlier than that. I want to hear y'all thoughts about it. Do you think Smackdown should be 3 hours? I don't think so. I think Smackdown should only be 2, because they don't use everybody anyway. So why are we making it 3 hours and then half of the show with just commercials? But I don't know. And a new thing that I heard this week about Asuka. Now, we all said that Asuka was going to retire, or she is retiring, or semi-retiring. She has told people on her YouTube that she's just taking a little break. So she's still a part of WWE, but she's not going to be as active as she is. She said that people would just, basically not giving her flowers. I feel like she's being taken advantage of. She's not being used to her potential. But in my opinion, I'm like, what is there left for you to do for Asuka? She's done everything almost. I think she's a Grand Slam for the women. I mean, what is else for you to do? So, I don't know. Maybe she wants to be back in the main title picture, but there's really no need for her to be on the main title picture anymore. But that's just my opinion. I'm not sure how everybody else feel about her, but I think she's done everything that she can truly do. So, I don't know. But I did not look to see who was going to be on this week's SmackDown, and I kind of don't really care to know. It's going to be the same 5 people in rotation. But hopefully this Friday won't be too bad as it was last week. But after all that, let's get started with the show. So y'all, the show opens up with Rhea Ripley basically coming to the ring and basically announcing that she's going to have a rematch with Jade at Clash of Italy on Sunday at 2 p.m. I could have sworn they was saying this thing was on Saturday later in May. It's not this following Sunday, but I think the next following Sunday, something like that. But after she announced that, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss basically call Rhea out because Rhea had a day off last week, and Charlotte and Alexa got jumped by Fatal Influence, I think, last week. And basically it was just Charlotte and Rhea going back and forth with each other. And something that Rhea pointed out, that Charlotte said that she didn't need Rhea help, but then Charlotte tried to double back and say that it was me and Alexa who needed your help. So them two go back and argue with each other. So then Fatal Influence come out and they have their little moment and basically said since they came to SmackDown, every woman on the roster has been just out of whack. So they talk about a little bit about themselves, and Charlotte brings up the idea of her and Alexa versus any 2 women from Fatal Influence tonight. So that match will be on later on. So then we get a quick little segment with MFT's Solo Sikoa, Tala Tonga, and Tama Tonga. So basically, it was them talking about Tala's match with Shinsuke, and Kathy was trying to get Tala to talk, but Solo just interrupts him and basically says that he's going to handle business, as he should. And then he looks at Tama like, yeah, you are a loser. So then Royce Keys come out and say his little 2 cents about Solo costing his title opportunity. And Solo's like, we're family. I was just trying to help you. So I can definitely see Royce coming on this team. I think he's going to do it. So the first match of the night, we had Tala Tonga versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And this match was an okay match. Typical back and forth between them two. It's been a while have we seen Shinsuke on TV. Tonga kind of dominated this whole match. Shinsuke tried to take out Tala's legs and knees, but it didn't work. Solo trying to interfere with the match, but it didn't work. And Shinsuke got distracted by that, and Tala ended up choke slamming Shinsuke and getting the win. And it was okay. I didn't really care for that match. But then it jumps to Cody, and Nick Aldis is telling Cody that Gunther is not in the building and he has not signed the contract yet. And Cody is like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll get him to sign the contract. And Nick Aldis is like, no, Cody, I will get him to do it. So then Sammy comes around the corner and tries to give Cody a little talk about Gunther because he beat Gunther. And Cody is like, yeah, no, whatever. So then Sammy tries to talk to Nick Aldis about having a match tonight. And then he goes on talking trash about Cody. And Cody ends up overhearing him. And he's like, you're complaining that you want a match tonight? Fine. You have a match with me. So that's going to happen later. So then we get a quick little segment back with the MFTs. And basically is Tama Tonga talking to Solo about getting his revenge on Shinsuke. I'm gonna assume next week Solo and Shinsuke are gonna have a match next week against each other, or some time during the week. So y'all, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Lash Legend for a open challenge for the Women's US Championship. And this match was a good match. I enjoyed the match. People who be listening, I like Lash Legend, and I always think she'd be better as a singles competitor other than being with Nia. So she accepts Tiffany's challenge, and it was okay. Chelsea Green came out to support Tiffany, and Nia Jax did try to get involved, but it didn't work. And Tiffany still won the match and is still the Women's US Champ. So I cannot wait to see what Chelsea and Tiffany gonna do. I love Chelsea. So y'all, we get a quick little Danhausen segment. Danhausen has been messing with the electricity due to him doing his little project, and Nick Aldis has been mad because he thinks the electricity is gonna cut off the show or something. So eventually he finds Danhausen and he sees what Danhausen is trying to do, and something blows up. And then you have Danhausen's corner. He has a person under a sheet, and Nick Aldis tries to look under it, and Danhausen stops him. So then we get a quick little segment with Fraxium and Miz and Kay Wilson. I'm gonna just cut it short. They're gonna have a match next week between them, and them two were just talking trash to each other. That's it. So then we jump to Trick Williams, and basically him and Yachty are just gloating each other and how he's the champion and how he had his homecoming last week and just the whole shabam. So then Carmelo Hayes come out and basically challenge Trick Williams for the U.S. Men's Championship. So Trick at first was gonna deny, but then Carmelo buttered him up, and then Trick was like, you know what? We're gonna have a match right now for the championship. So the match between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes was a good match. Definitely going to be the best match of the night. I don't see it being anyone else. But great back and forth between them. Yachty didn't get involved this time like he normally do. But Ricky Saints came out and he tried to get involved with the match for both guys, for Trick and Carmelo. But unfortunately, he caused a distraction. Carmelo tried to pin up Trick. The ref got distracted. And Carmelo tried to go after Ricky Saint, but then ended up Trick Williams capitalized. And he is still your men's United States champion. So Carmelo and Ricky are going to have a feud, I'm pretty sure. And maybe Trick will get involved with that too. So then it jumps to Sammy and Johnny Gargano having, well, Johnny Gargano is just planking, but Sammy is venting to Johnny, and also Sammy wiped out water bottles, just minding their business. But yeah, it was really nothing between that. It's just him venting. So we tried to get a quick little interview with Ricky Saints and Kathy, but before Ricky can even open his mouth, Carmelo Hayes ended up jumping Ricky and basically telling him to stay out of Carmelo's business. So yeah, them two are definitely going to have a match together. So y'all, the next match of the night, we had Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley versus Lainey and Fallon of Fatal Influence. Now I forgot to say earlier that Alexa decided to switch places with Rhea to take part in this tag team match. So we had that. It was a decent match. I didn't really care for this match. I wish we saw different tag teams than Charlotte and Alexa, but it ended up being Charlotte and Rhea taking the win. The other members of Fatal Influence and Alexa got involved with the match a little bit. So at the end of the match, Jade, B-Fab, and Michin came out and jumped Alexa and Charlotte and Rhea, and somehow Jade and Rhea got by themselves, and Jade hit Rhea with the Jaded, and that was it for that whole entire match. So I'm not really too excited for that match at Clash of Italy. I think it's like we already seen it, been there, done that, and I feel like Rhea is going to retain the championship because I don't think no one wants to see another Jade championship. I don't, but some people might. So then we get a little interview with Kathy and Cody about Sammy, how Cody says Sammy don't look like the same person he once knew, and just going on about what Sammy said earlier. And then talk about Gunther, how Gunther has not signed the contract yet, and hopefully he will get it done before the 31st of May, which will be Clash of Italy. So y'all, the next match of the night is Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest. And I was thinking they were going to have this match maybe like next week or something, but no, they had it tonight. And this match was okay match. I guess it's a little different to see Solo back in the ring because he hasn't really wrestled in like a good minute. But it was a good back and forth between him and Damian. Tama and Tyler got involved with it, ambushing Damian, and that ended up causing him the match for Solo to pick up the win. And then at the end of the match, Tama and Tyler was jumping Damian, and then Royce Keys popped back up again and tried to defend Damian Priest, but then Damian Priest ended up like trying to choke Royce Keys, but then Royce Keys like, what are you doing? I'm trying to help you out. And Solo was like yelling, "Don't trust him! Don't trust him!" So I can definitely see this happening. I really do hope it happens. I can see it. I think it'd be a good thing for them to do. So yeah, I'm gonna just run through a couple things that went on. Chelsea was walking to the back and she saw Blake Monroe, talked to Blake Monroe, was just trying to be friends with her, I'll say. And Blake wasn't having it. So that was that. And then we have Damian Priest and Royce Keys at each other's necks because Damian Priest doesn't trust Royce Keys because he kind of hangs around MFT. But Royce Keys tried to tell Damian that R-Truth called him to defend him. And Damian's like, what would you do if someone just grabs you from behind while you just got jumped by MFT? What would you do? And Royce is like, I'll do the same thing. Because Royce did like grab Damian from behind, and that was the reason why he choked Royce. But that was it. I just want to run through that real quick. I'm not gonna make little edits to that. So y'all, we had the last match of the night. It was Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, and it was okay. I really wasn't a fan of this match. It's kind of boring to me because you already know that Cody was gonna win this match. But they had some decent back and forth. But Gunther did come during the end of the match and was trying to choke out Cody, but Sammy was trying to like jump Cody, but he ended up hitting Gunther off of the ring. And then Cody went for the crossroads and won the match. And then Gunther ended up trying to jump Cody, but then Cody started fighting back a little bit, but then Gunther just overpowered Cody and hit him with a powerbomb and then choked Cody out. But then Sammy ran into the ring like he was gonna stop Gunther, but then he ended up slowly backing out and just watched Cody get choked out by Gunther. But that was the end of Friday Night Smackdown for this week. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The only match I truly enjoyed was Carmelo and Trick's match earlier in the show, and they still didn't get Gunther to sign the contract, so I guess we're not gonna see nothing until the next following Friday. So I guess that's just gonna be the thing. And people who do not know, Saturday night pay-per-view is on Peacock. I will not be reviewing it or watching it. I never enjoyed that PLE pay-per-view, however you want to say it, but I will be keeping tabs on who is going to win some of the matches, and I might talk about it on Monday. I don't know. Yeah, I'll see how I feel by then. But I will be watching Clash at Italy on Sunday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, which is very random of them, but I mean, they're in Italy, so the time zone is going to be so different. And maybe next week we're going to see Blake Monroe, because she came out. Maybe her and Chelsea might become a tag team. Who knows? But yeah, that was the end of the show for today. I want to say thank y'all for watching, listening, subscribing, liking the videos. And I hope y'all continue to support and keep on making this channel blossom so we can get some new things and make some new things happen. But once again, I want to thank you, and make sure to love one another, be blessed, and mental health matters. Bye.